Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Thursday, May 19th, 2016, and Friday, May 20th, 2016. Hope you're having a good trading week. We usually combine up the preview for Thursday and Friday. By the time Thursday is over, most of what we've projected for the week has already played out. This week's no exception since it's options expiration, which means Friday will probably be fairly dead as usual. So we'll talk about the next 2 days as one here and go from there. So here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the S&P and futures form, which is the proper technical way to look at the market. Came down at the lows of the day and almost broke that level I was talking about last night. If we break that, we're in trouble. Only 3 candles, actually 4 candles down towards a new startup phase, so there's a lot of room left to the downside if we head that way. I think it could actually accelerate fairly quickly if we crack that level. So again, whether that happens this week with expiration or sometime next week, it's hard to say. We'll look at what happened here intraday in a bit and talk about that in terms of options unraveling. Here's a look at the QM. This is oil was down 10 cents to 48.20. Here's a look at gold. Actually came back down a bit, down $16.20 today. S&P cash index literally up 0.42 points. Non-event there. The NDX up 15.67. Not much there. The SOX up 10. Biotech's up 36.71. That's actually a bit of a recovery on that one. The VIX still up higher. They're up 38 cents at 15.95. Remember, this thing should break out when the market heads down. Trend closing at 1.01 brings the 10-day moving average back down to 1.17. And let's take a look here. I'm going to count the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so there's a couple of bigger numbers that are going to drop off this moving average that could really bring it down, although just 4 days ago we had that high reading up at near 230. That's going to keep the moving average above 0.85 for a while. Remember, at 0.85 or lower on the moving average is usually a sell signal for the market. NASDAQ volume closed at 1.7, about 1.8 billion shares. It's about where we've been lately, obviously. Advanced decline ratios are split. On the NASDAQ side, we're plus 611. That means 611 more stocks were up than down. On the New York side, down 933. It's quite a flip in market breadth there. Google holding their big annual event today, up $1.59, not a big deal. Apple also gained $1.07. We had a long in Apple today that worked out for us. Amazon up $2.18 because Amazon ever needs to go higher. Netflix up $1.87, trying to make the curl here. All right, so let's take a look at the intraday action, 5-minute candles. And you can see we gapped down, came up and filled that gap, tried to push a little higher. We actually did a double cup or a cup and handle formation over lunch and broke out, but then the minutes from the last Fed meeting came out. More talk of higher interest rates, maybe sooner than expected, and everything rolled over pretty sharply. That's just a news move, not a technical move, so nothing major. It's over the back end of right after lunch, too. But then we recovered from that back to the VWAP, bounced around a little bit. That was it. Like I said, closed about flat for the day. On the NASDAQ futures side, same story, double cup and handle, breakout over lunch, came down when the minutes came out. All right, so what do we have left for the week? So in terms of looking at this right here, or let's go back and look at the ES, if we had gotten an options unraveling move, the very end of the first hour of play today, from that point was a 9-bar startup phase that completed, and then we start heading down. So that would have indicated that maybe the options unraveling move was happening to the downside. But instead, we shook that off and went higher, and the only reason we came back down was because of the news. So I would say that either there's not much of an options unraveling move in a single expiration month like May this year, or we haven't gotten it yet, which means you can still get it Thursday. So we'll be looking for that. We're going to look for action and volume holding up after the first hour on Thursday. There's plenty of economic data coming out on Thursday. We've got the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims number an hour before the bell. We've got Philly Fed an hour before the bell. We've got leading indicators 30 minutes in and the weekly natty gas number an hour in. And then on Friday, the only number is the existing home sales 30 minutes in. But there's enough data still for Thursday to be a decent trading day. Obviously, Wednesday was. We've had a decent week here. But I'd like to still get one more big one, and that still has the potential, especially if we get an options unraveling move on Thursday. Friday, as usual, for options expiration, probably not going to be that interesting. Maybe get something done in the first hour, and then everybody will start to head out the door for the for the weekend. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal 12. If you've not yet taken the trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading rest of your week.